Hey everybody, it's Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. I obviously did not finish videos in the month of March because of everything that started happening and going on. So now that I'm in a situation where I'm not working and I have a lot more free time on my hands, I can dedicate more time to actually getting videos done. I might go back to the bi-weekly segment, maybe even weeklies, I don't know yet, so just keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope everybody's staying as safe as possible and really just keeping up with everything, because I do think it's important. We do have a lot of heavy astrological placements that have been happening and coming in that mark massive and major changes around not only how we operate as a society, but even community basis, globally, economically. We've got a lot of changes coming up, so everybody should just be prepared for that, because nothing's going to go back to the way that it was. Rightfully so, though. So I figured for starting off, I would hit the signs that I did not get to last month. So I'm going to be doing, starting off with Libra. So let's see what's going on with you right now, Libra. Obviously take this as it resonates. If it resonates for you, you can always check your moon, rising, or Venus. I finally got my website up, so if you would like to book a personal reading through there, you can do that. There's 3 options available to you. And considering what is going on right now, I do understand that people are getting hit pretty hard financially. So if you are one of those people who has lost your job and you need some insight, I will work with you. I am going to be doing kind of like a sliding scale. So just hit me up for that and we'll base your reading off of what it is that you can offer or donate. I may also be doing some form of a raffle for a free reading on my Instagram. So if you would like to go and follow me there, you can do that as well. So Libra, let's see what's going on with you today. Not even today, for the month of April. Actually, let's do 2 weeks. What's going to be happening for you for the first 2 weeks of April? What are you going to be dealing with or facing? Show me what's happening for Libra for the month of April. Okay, so we have the 2 of Wands. You are going to be feeling a bit at a crossroads here. I do think you have some decisions to make. The path that you were once following might be intersected with another option or choice available to you. Obviously, we're going to do confirmation and clarification cards to see exactly what that's all about. Let's take a look at what's blocking you. What's blocking Libra? We have Temperance, so there's kind of a need for you to get into balance with yourself. You may actually be yo-yoing quite a bit, especially with everything that's going on. That is to be anticipated. I've been talking to a lot of my personal clients about this. I've been experiencing this myself. Everybody I know is experiencing it. And it's kind of this waxing and waning of emotions where one second you're fine and then the next second you kind of are overcome with a lot of fears, especially in regards to the future. Try to take things day by day right now and do the best thing, or do the best things that you can for yourself to keep yourself at more of an equilibrium. If you find that you do have intense fears or anxieties coming up, really sit down, breathe through them and address them. And whether or not, I don't want to use the word irrational, because really it's not that fears are irrational. It's just that it's triggering a part of ourselves that we really need to look at and where it comes from and why it kind of affects us as deeply as it does. Take that. So let's see what's happening in your subconscious here. What's happening in Libra's subconscious? Ooh, you got a few. So we have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Swords reversed. You might be waiting on some decisions to be made through other people. It could be people that you work with. With the Ace of Swords in reverse, it doesn't feel like there's something victorious within that space. And it also feels like there might also be a minimizing of people in the workspace, especially with the Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords in reverse, because the Ace of Swords in reverse can literally be severing things or cutting things out. I mean, it literally might go down to you and 2 other people in the workspace. Whether that's operating from home, whatever it may be, there may be 3 of you who are kind of going to be the bulk of who is left. Now, if this has to do with a specific individual that you're involved with or within a family unit, I feel like if there is any issues that you're having in either working together or if there is external influences affecting that situation, those things might be removed at this time to find more solutions. So let's see what has happened in the recent past for you. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. That could have been an offer that you were expecting or anticipating that did not come the way that you expected it to, or like show up in the way that you expected it to. It also could just be a temporary hold or almost like a block. It feels more like a block. I feel like there's some things that need to change before whatever it was that you were anticipating can come through. And it honestly might be connected to whatever choice it is that you're having to make. Or with whatever's being minimized within your environment, whether it's a relationship, work. So let's see what's happening in your higher self here. What's happening in Libra's higher self for the first 2 weeks of April? We have the Six of Swords. So you're going to be moving through some, I think, interesting feelings. I also think that you're going to be moving out of areas of difficulty or argument. I think you're very much so distancing yourself from anything that is turbulent, violent, or imbalanced in nature. I think it's going to be very positive for you. You are having assistance in doing this, whether it's from physical people in your environment or from Source or Spirit itself. Yeah, I think it's going to be Source and Spirit. So let's see what's happening in the near future for you. What's happening in the near future here? That's a lot, but I'm going to take them. You have the Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Moon. I really want to address and go back to talking about the block with Temperance, with a need to stay balanced. There's going to be a part of you that might either be looking at your finances or looking at the effort that you've put into something, and you're either going to be feeling very overwhelmed and anxious over the state of your finances, or just very overwhelmed and anxious at not being quite sure how something is going to turn out. The Moon there is very conflicting energy. It can be very dreamy energy, but it's also very elusive in nature. It's very emotional. So I feel like, especially with the full moon coming up on April 7th in Libra, your sign, I feel like there's going to be a lot of scales that are going to be balanced out. There's going to be a lot of things coming up. Make sure that you're not, do not be a martyr at this time. Whatever you need to do for yourself, take care of yourself first. I'm not saying don't take care of other people, but just be very mindful of ways in which you're giving or which you're doling out your time, energy, finances, whatever it may be. I feel like there's going to be a need here for you to step back because of the fact that your stress is going to be a little bit amplified. I do think the Moon is going to be doing this. I think the Moon is going to be part of the amplification of those emotions. So be aware of that as it comes up. If you feel very intense or you feel very overwhelmed, take a step back, breathe, and look at where your feelings are coming from. Let's see what's happening emotionally for you. What's happening in Libra's emotional sector? We have the Ten of Wands. So I think that you're pretty worn out. I definitely think that you're a little tired of carrying certain burdens, or you may feel as if you have a massive workload on your back, or just that whatever impending choices you're about to make come with a lot of weight. But I also think that whatever these choices you are that you're having to make are going to allow you to drop the weight so that you can start on something fresh and something new. It really is an opportunity right now, I think, with what's going on in the world, collectively and individually, that this is a time where we can really sit down and look at what we haven't dealt with or addressed accordingly and deal with it. And I really encourage people to do that. I think it's a great time to do it. I mean, literally the whole world has time right now. Other than the people who are currently on the front lines, which literally I don't know what we would do without these people who are sacrificing themselves in order to be a part of the greater good for humanity. I mean, people are really sticking their necks out, and if you are somebody out there who is watching this and you are one of those people, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for doing what you do, and thank you for sacrificing yourself to save others. I think that with us having Saturn move into Aquarius, even though it's only going to be for 3 months and then retrograde back into Capricorn and then go forward in Aquarius again next year, it really is an opportunity for us to be challenged as a collective, as a humanity, but also to take a closer look at humanitarian efforts and how we can help each other, and it no longer being solely about the individual's desires or selfish needs. You also have the Nine of Pentacles here with the Ten of Wands in your emotional sector. So I feel like, you know, even though you're carrying a lot, I feel like there is a part of you that at least feels somewhat comfortable right now. You're not really necessarily struggling. You have everything that you need around you. So if you have something to spare, it may also be about you sharing with others where you can. Like I said, not to your detriment. So make sure you can only give what you can afford to give. Don't sacrifice everything that you have. Let's see what's happening around you. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. You may be waiting on news that you haven't received. Or someone may be unable to deliver a message to you at this time because they don't exactly know how to say or do what it is that they want to say or do. We have the Lovers, so it could be somebody that you're emotionally attached to, and we have Strength. Someone might be in deep contemplation or really reviewing a relationship at this time, or a connection. It doesn't have to necessarily be romantic. I mean, the Lovers is a romantic card, but I think too it's more so about coming back into balance, as we have in Temperance. If you are someone who's not in a relationship, then this is how it's going to apply to you. You have to take a step back right now to really come back into balance with yourself. And if you feel like you're already in a particular state of balance, or you feel pretty good, then this could be somebody that you're attached to, or somebody who's in your environment. It could be a friend, family member, coworker. Take it how it resonates. There is a need here for something to be addressed, and it is going to require strength to address it. There is a lot of hesitancy here in this reading, so I think it's why there's almost this urgency to take a step back and deal with whatever internal things that you're dealing with in your environment, so that when you do have to make that critical decision, you can do so with an open heart and without feeling as if you're carrying so much weight on your back. Let's see what's in your hopes and fears. We have the King of Pentacles. You could be concerned about finances right now. You also could be concerned about either a father figure. This could also be a partner. And we have the Chariot. I think it's weird here because it's almost like there's a hope. There's a hope that whatever direction you're going in is you're having hope that it's going to be stable, right? You're really wanting to make sure that you have a stable future or a solid plan. I also think that you might be releasing any form of attachment to material stuff at this time, which it may also be why you feel more open to help others. But like I said, just be mindful and be careful of how far you take that. Let's see what's in the outcome for Libra. You guys have the Empress. That's a really beautiful card to get in your outcome. And you have the Queen of Pentacles, another amazing card to get alongside that. And then we have the Hermit in reverse. I think over the course of the next 2 weeks, you're going to be coming a little more out of your shell and more into your own. I think you're going to have ideas that you want to implement that are going to actually lead to some pretty nice success here. You also might be feeling more connected to yourself, more connected to your environment. You could be way more nurturing than usual. There also might be some changes that you're wanting to make around the home, oddly enough. I feel like maybe over the next 2 weeks, you're going to be looking at little things that you can tweak around your environment to make yourself feel more comfortable. So let's go ahead and do some clarifiers here. Let's clarify this Two of Wands. What's the Two of Wands about? So we have the Emperor in reverse. Yeah, there might be a part of you that is having to release control either over a person, a situation, or a circumstance. I think this is how you're going to be getting back into balance and releasing control through the Emperor and really leaning into the energy of the Empress, which is receptivity. It is allowing things to organically and naturally do what they need to do in order to become the best that they need to be. I think you're going to find a lot of success in that and letting go. Let's clarify Temperance here as the block. So with Temperance, we do have the Nine of Cups with the Chariot. I would definitely be mindful at this time of anything you're overindulging in that could be also taking you off your balance. It's almost like don't drink and drive, but energetically. Just be mindful and be careful. I feel like there's a need to cut out anything that you're doing in excess in order to achieve this mastery or this ability to find balance and move forward in the direction you're wanting to go in. Let's clarify the Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords in reverse. We have the Two of Swords. There's another decision-making card, and we have the Ace of Wands. I do feel like subconsciously you are going to be deciding to put everything you've got, at least the energy reserves that you do have right now, into what you can work on, whether that's in interpersonal relationships, family relationships, projects, or work. Because I feel like now that it's come to a much smaller amount of people or group, it really is time to step up to the plate. Let's clarify the Page of Pentacles in reverse here in the past. We have the Nine of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. So this to me shows a lot that whatever this offer was that didn't quite show up the way that you expected it to, whatever it was that was articulated, it's like there's still some stuff that needs to be worked on. I do think that there is a lot of truth that's been spoken here. I don't see any sort of like ill intent, but I do see that there's still some things in the past that I don't want to say haven't, it's not that you have not overcome them, but I still think that there's this waxing and waning of fear attached to this, and there's still a couple of demons that need to be, you know, tackled. Let's clarify the Six of Swords here. With the Six of Swords, we do have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the Nine of Wands. So you could be very protective of what you have at this time. You could be very guarded, especially as you're transitioning through this feeling or this energy or this situation. But I do think you're solely focused on nurturing yourself, your environment, or whoever is in your environment with you. I think you also might be focused on your own personal stability, whether it's financial, emotional, mental, even health-wise, or the home environment. Let's clarify the Seven of Pentacles with the Nine of Swords and the Moon. We have the High Priestess. We have the Three of Swords, although this card is different. This is the after tarot, so it's kind of what happens after the initial heartache. This is the healing. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. So I do feel like that there's some things that you don't necessarily know yet. I don't think that you can, I'll put it to you this way, you can't see the way forward because you're not supposed to. I feel like there's some steps that are going to have to happen that if you had the foresight, you wouldn't actually reap the benefit of the experience, right? We as humans, we have to learn through experience in order to fully understand something with our entire being, mentally, emotionally, physically. We have to actually go through the experience itself to take in the lesson, or to take in a deeper understanding or acknowledgement of why we have to go through it and what it does for us on the other side. We appreciate the outcome more when we actually move through the experience. So I feel like there is positive things happening here on the other side of this, but moving through it, it's not going to feel that way. So don't be hard on yourself. I do think there could be some issues that are attached to this that have to deal with some stuff that happened in childhood. Let's clarify the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Cups reversed and the Lovers. So I think emotionally you're revisiting some pretty tough situations. Some of these things could be emotionally uncomfortable for you. It could be readdressing old baggage or old burdens that you still carry from previous situations that left you feeling unbalanced or imbalanced. Kind of starting to hit that Space Cadet mode. So yeah, I do feel like these things are going to be addressed. That's what you're working on right now. But I think you're doing it for yourself, and I think you're doing it so you can be more stable within your own soul so that you don't repeat the same mistakes of the past. Let's clarify the Page of Wands reverse, the Lovers, and Strength. You also could be carrying somebody else's shit. Yeah, the Tower. Whoever's connected to you or whoever is around you, they're experiencing some serious Tower moments. Their stability could be greatly impacted or affected right now. This is happening to them for a reason. Yeah, we have the Five of Pentacles, and then we have the Star in reverse. They've kind of neglected doing this deep healing that they needed to do for quite some time, and now they're being forced to do it. They could be doing so through being abandoned. It could be being or experiencing financial loss. But whatever's happening, I do feel like they're going to have the strength to see it through. But it's going to be a difficult time for them. And I also feel like that's why there may be this distance between you two, is so you don't have to carry it for them. But I do feel like you're going to be hearing some news about this later on. I feel like the reason why you haven't heard from this person is because they're going through it right now. Let's clarify the King of Pentacles reversed and the Chariot and the hopes and fears. So we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, I think there's some fear here of either something not being reciprocated or not being able to get what you feel is due in order to move forward. Clarify the Empress here in the outcome. The Empress is clarified by the Six of Swords. Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles, Two of Cups, and let's clarify the Hermit in reverse. We have Death and the Wheel of Fortune. That is a beautiful combination. There's a lot of change coming for you over these next 2 weeks. I do think that you're going to be coming out of solitude. I think you're going to be communicating more, or this could be somebody else coming towards you. That also could mean that over the next 2 weeks, we could be seeing I feel like I'm getting like a ping to step back on what I just said. It's not that I'm taking it back. It's just that I'm kind of looking at the Hermit card here, and I'm like, when I say coming out of solitude, especially with what's happening right now, I don't mean that you're literally going to be able to like full on go back into the world, but I feel like you're going to be coming out of a state of introspection. You're going to be coming out of a state of trying to find the wisdom within the experience, or somebody else is going to be doing that. Now, with the Empress and the Six of Swords, you also have the Six of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles, and you have the Queen of Pentacles over here as well. So I do feel like that there is going to be some forward movement here. I do feel like that you are protected right now. I feel like you're being looked after. You are being carried through this experience. And I do feel like there's going to be some form of an apology or a reconciliation or recognition within a situation with another person, whether that is lover, friend, family. It's coming together, and it's really recognizing each other. And that recognition and that understanding is going to provide you and this other person some stability to make the changes that need to be made. It's time for this change to happen. And there is no more avoiding this change. Even though I'm only talking about 2 weeks here, this is going to be a far-reaching change. I feel like this full moon is going to trigger some really interesting energy for you that's going to be more of a ripple effect or a butterfly effect or a domino effect. It's going to start taking off in very slow increments, but it's going to have such a far reach. That's why I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to know what's happening every step of the way. You're having to move through it. So I'm going to pull one card from 3 separate oracle decks. The first one is going to be the Fuzzy Prism Oracle. The next one is going to be the deck of character, and then the final one is going to be a deck that I'm currently working on making. Give me one card here for some advice. We have 2, so I'll take it. We have Dream, and then we have Acceptance. All right. We have Fairy, which is definitely a wonderful card of having assistance or help from external sources. And then we have Forked Tongue in reverse, so I do feel like you're going to be receiving some form of an apology or thinking before you speak, or somebody's going to be thinking before they speak. Now with Dream, Acceptance, and Fairy, those 3 cards are really nice to me because it's almost like take the time to step back and accept what you can't change right now, release the control, but also allow this to be a time period in which you can dream and really put out what it is that you want out there into the world. Whether it's going to be ideas of how you can help others in the future, connect with your community, connect with a loved one or a friend or family, or what your dreams are about work. You're being given a lot of assistance at this time, and I really want you to acknowledge that and utilize the assistance that is available to you, because this is a very big opportunity for you to do something differently. Okay, Libra, that was your reading for the first 2 weeks of April. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope all of you are doing okay out there. Like I said, I am going to have some new additions in the description box below. My website has now been launched, so my link to my website will be down there. You can see the type of readings that I offer, and yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you guys next time.